Get on then. Howdy folks. Now, before we get into this video proper, obviously you've just seen a bit of dirty. Well, it only gets dirtier, so, but I want to just take this quick opportunity to say thanks for everyone who come and see us at Lama, and basically just want to announce the winner of the little competition I run of how many bits and bobs, balls, sunglasses, all that sort of stuff was in my front box on the Rytec stand. And there was 1,125 things in there, and the nearest person was, hold on for it, wait for it, was Ivor Patterson, who guessed 1,126, so one away. So Ivor, I'll be contacting you shortly, and then we'll get all the stuff sent to you. So I got a T7 New Holland T7 300 Jubilee edition, Britain's model, obviously a JCB Fast Track Britain's model, one of the thermos mugs I use, which are really good, and then Rytec, like a clothes bundle, coat, hat, all that sort of stuff. So I'll get in contact with it, and we'll get that all that stuff on its way to you. Well done for winning. And anyway, we'll carry on with this dirty video. Sit back and enjoy. Howdy folks, so we're in deepest, darkest Suffolk today at a very nice toy shed. Let's have a look. Right, so we've got a big fleet of cats here. 3 class, 2 cats, zeroing up the end there, MB track, round the corner, a couple of slooters, and a lot of you will know who owns this lot.
You probably will.
Yeah, probably will, like Mr. Tunmore. Yeah. Mr. Tunmore. So basically, this is a moulding fleet, isn't it? So you do a lot of moulding with this stuff, also all other sort of stuff and everything. Why go for the old school?
Well, you know, I used to have a lot of old school stuff that was just really stuff that I loved.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I just couldn't do anything with it. Like, I had all those lovely tracks, and they were like proper. You look at it now and you think, why on earth did I sell those? But you know, there's only so much money.
Yeah, and
nothing was earning me anything.
No, that's the key, isn't it? Like, you do a lot of contracts and that sort of stuff.
Well, that's just how things are developed. Like, there's always that progression, and things like nothing stays the same. Things change. So, like, I sold a 614 LSA to buy that 55.
Yeah.
I sold the 4455 to buy the 75C. And the 44 was a stunning tractor, and the 614 was a stunning tractor. But like tiny little things, you can't really do anything with them. And now, like, we're earning money with that,
and they're still fucking really cool to have and to own and look at. Like, exactly.
I was talking to Chris Lockwood the other day, and I'd come through here and I'd walk through the shed, and because I already own them all, I don't look at them and go, oh my God, that's nice, because they're mine. But I think if I'd walked in this shed and I didn't own them, I'd have gone, oh my God.
Well, a bit like me when I come in here, like, and I think that's quite a regular thing when they come in this shed. It's not a very common sight, is it? Like, I mean, it's a lot of people's fucking dream shed, like.
4 Challengers and the Xerion.
Oh yeah.
But like, these are all like, we mould 700 hectares last year.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue it was an exceptional year on the back of a really wet year, and a lot of people.
A lot of people were.
Because like, the more you do, the more you get known, and the more work you just intrinsically and naturally pick up.
Yeah.
Purely off the back of that, we have traditionally advertised in Farmer's Guide, and I just don't think we gain anything.
You don't need it, like no.
I've advertised in Farmer's Guide for mould draining. I've advertised in Farmer's Guide for Avadex. I've advertised in Farmer's Guide for pest control work. To be honest, like, we never seem to pick any work up from advertising.
No. It's more word of mouth, I should.
Totally word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, who does your moulding, or who does your? Oh, Jonathan. Then the phone rings. Oh, so and so said. So
you do a good job, you come back, like, exactly.
That's really where we get it. Yeah. So that's what the challenges are for, and like, I think we totted up roughly earlier, didn't we? The value of all the challenges and the Xerion and the mould drainers collectively together would not pay for one brand new fence.
Yeah. which is crazy, like, really. All that horsepower, and you're going to buy a 150 horsepower tractor, roughly, like, you know, what's there, like?
So I can mould on 5 different farms all at once with 5 mould drainers.
Yeah.
And like keep doing your best to keep 5 people happy. Whereas if we just had one, firstly, I'd probably be waiting for Thurlows to come out and sort an aircon fault out on a 943.
Yeah.
And then 5 farmers jumping up.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas these, like, they don't really break down.
A lot of stuff you can put a spanner to as well, can't you? Like?
You sort of self, or it's not.
The electronics are limited. The electronics are there.
Or it's a fault that you can kind of like limp along.
Yeah, exactly. You can. Yeah.
You know, like that one hasn't actually got any opening windows, so if you've got an aircon fault with that, it's a bit.
Does get a bit warm, I think. Yeah.
But the rest of them, you can sort of like, sit in your underpants.
Yeah.
But no, they're good. They're generally pretty good. Yeah, not too bad at all.
Yeah, because I suppose your average there is about 350 horse. So yeah,
because that's chipped and that one's chipped and that one's 380 anyway. Yeah, so average of like 18 tons each. And 350 horsepower.
Yeah, and you're going to do well to match that with modern day stuff, like, because the modern day horsepower is just like it's donkey power, isn't it? I think
it's like those 12-litre engines in the D and the E are just phenomenal.
They don't give up, like, just pull, don't they?
Those is just and low down pull. Like, they're running. Brian will mould in 5th gear at 1250 RPM with that D.
Yeah.
The only thing that is slightly detrimental, you've just got to have enough engine revs so that the hydraulic motor can power the tracks fast enough to steer.
Yes,
Otherwise, if you're underpowered on that, it'll just wander all the time just because it's got insufficient speed.
Get
it going, But no, they're nice. They're nice things to drive. They're nice to see, like when we've got that out, the C out on the 10-per-hour plough, it just looks so like 90s.
Oh, yeah. You're a bit like me, so 80s, 90s, 2000s, that's the best era.
There.
Yeah, same here, same here. No, you literally cut. We've gone forwards.
It was the best era.
Yeah. We've gone backwards, I think. Like, just the modern stuff's far too electronically controlled.
Well,
electronics for electronics.
There's just too much stuff that nobody utilises.
They put stuff on for no reason, don't they? Like,
it seems like it. Yeah. And then try to tell you need it.
That's the thing. Yeah. They're doing it all the time. Every new tractor comes out, something new electronic on it. Oh, you got to have this now because it's getting fandangled. It's all brand new.
It just creates more problems at the end of the day.
Yeah, it does, mate. It does.
Like electronic spool valves, they're really nice and you're not pulling stuff, but like it just creates another thing that's going to go wrong.
Yeah. And like you say, I mean, like my fast track's got 3 of them on it. There's no benefit to electronic spool valves on it. And they're £2.5 grand to go. It's like, hell, just give me some levers. Please, give me some levers.
Plan to get money out of you.
Yeah, it is, mate, it is.
We'll make that fail at 2,000 hours. And if each one of those fails every year, brilliant.
Not being funny, I think a lot of that, because of course it's easy to program electronic stuff it knows. Exactly, yeah. I think a bit of that goes.
Arguably, it's not doing much. It's not like a skid wearing out or
no.
Like a spool valve lever wearing on the edge of something or the pin snapping or the cable breaking.
Yeah, it's not doing something physical, is it? Like, no.
I remember when I was a farm manager in like Holbeach area in the year sort of from 99 to 02.
Yeah.
And you'd go to double days and the boys in the workshops, they just weren't doing anything because there was nothing
to do, like. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, yeah.
You go to a dealer nowadays, it's like, oh, these boys are busy.
Well, when we have a look at these in a minute, you'll see, how well stuff was built back then, like. Built to last, not like the modern crap, like. Yeah. You get a modern tractor 20 years old, well, it's going to be garbage because all the electronics will be fouled on it, like.
You'd think so.
Yeah. And like you say,
it's going.
new is certainly no guarantee of reliability, whereas it used to be.
I'd be very reluctant to. Certainly wouldn't change any of these for
new stuff.
Well, you just look at Ian Holgrave's fleet. Like he doesn't own anything newer than a C Series Challenger.
Yeah.
Just purely on the basis that they're all too unreliable. Nothing past. So what they were made up to like 2012, weren't they? So anything past 2012. No.
Waste of time. And a lot of these are on, 10, 11,000 hours?
That's 11, that's 8. The D is 11,000. The E is about 9,000. Xerion's 6,500.
Yeah, so all high-ish hours, like.
Arguably high-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're
Certainly be high-ish in today's terms. Like, you know, you get a modern tractor that's 8,000 hours, you'd seriously be considering chopping that in because that's towards the end of its life.
But like these cat engines, like well looked after, like we always use cat filters, we always use Morris oils.
Yeah.
I'd expect those engines to do at
20
least
plus,
20,000
yeah,
hours.
easy, like, yeah.
C9 in it, so what, that 8.8 litre.
330 horse, obviously.
Well, she's
Or
dyno in 375.
Is she?
380. Yeah.
Oh, come on, girl. Oh. Come on, girl. She had to think about it. It's been a while since she's been started, though, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, well, I was thinking of putting a Steinbauer on it.
Yeah.
And I said to the boys at Mans, just stick it on the dyno so we know what it's doing, so I can tell Steinbauer how many percent to give the chip.
Yeah.
And they dynoed it at 380.
So it's already been played with, like.
Believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, you sure it just hasn't been misbadged?
Well, they weren't actually making the 3800 at that time.
Oh, were they not? That was the biggest one, was
That
it?
was the only one.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the only one. Yeah, so it was only 109 of those, that particular series, that 3300 with that cab,
Yeah.
that were made, and then they changed the cab for about, I think there was a year when they only made the 3300 with the new cab, and then they brought out the 3800.
Yeah.
It's basically the same tractor. But
Yeah.
more horsepower, yeah.
So was the reason of getting, because obviously the Xerion don't really match with the Challengers, just a bit more flexibility, or?
Yeah, more flexible. We do a lot of molding, and sometimes you'll go to a farm and you'll be molding 50, 60 hectares. But
Yeah.
Another time you might get a call just to do 8 hectares or 10 hectares.
Yeah.
And it's a long way off. So that's 50 odd K.
That road there, real
Sort of
quick,
road
nice.
there,
Yeah.
Plus Rory, he hasn't done his H test.
Yeah, Rory's the Xerion. You're the Xerion driver, aren't you, Rory?
He's the pilot. I'm not allowed on it. So the Challengers only track at 18 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, and tracks are expensive, 16,000 to stick a new set of tracks on.
Yeah.
Although it's 20 grand to put a new set of tyres on the Xerion.
Yeah, not much difference really, is it?
No, not really. But it's more flexible. Plus,
Yeah.
Rory hasn't got his H licence. He needs to be another year older.
Yeah.
So it just enables him to go and do those little nip and pop jobs.
Yeah. And like we were saying earlier, these will work when the conditions aren't quite as good as they ought to be. This will go on a bit.
Because the Challengers steer on their tracks.
Yeah.
So obviously one has to go slower than the other to enable it to turn.
Yeah.
So you're putting all the power through the steering track.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Xerion, you can lock the diffs.
Yeah, because I didn't realise this. You were saying
it's
permanent four-wheel drive. Yeah.
And if the molding's tough, so not normally you can mold just in four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But if say you're behind, say, barley and it's been trailed,
Yeah.
every now and again you'll hit a bit of a patch of straw and it's really shiny.
Yeah.
All the power will go to one wheel. Whereas obviously you lock the diffs, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And plus you can still so if you don't lock the diffs centrally, you just lock the axle diffs and not the centre diff, you can still actually turn out and lift the mole at the same time.
Oh, so you don't have to disengage that diff. You can leave that one in all the time if you want.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And there's just enough give in the system for it to do it.
Yeah.
You can set it so that it comes out on the angle.
But you've got the cutout on it, like
you've got
yeah.
15-degree cut.
Yeah.
Whereas with those, the Challengers, sometimes you can't get out of the end because the mole is in the tram line, and in like a wet spraying year and a dry harvest year, the tram line is like concrete. And especially what we find more now is these fashionable farmers that are doing the zero till or no till.
It's like this floor, isn't it?
Tram line is like a road, like proper. Like, we've had it where you've got to the tram line, you turn in to pull out, and you snap a leg in half, or Well, you pulled the whole hake out of the front of a muldrainer this year, didn't you?
Bloody hell.
That was with that.
She will pull, like, yeah.
You're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the muldrainer was like, I'm not.
Yeah, because she's on Mitchie VFs, isn't she? She's on Axio bibs.
Axio bib 2s, yeah.
So, what sort of pressure are you running them in field?
Like 16, is it?
No, so you're fairly high, like, but I mean, you're still getting a big old contact patch there, aren't you, lot?
Yeah, there's a lot of rubber on the floor.
A lot of weight on there. She's got front weight.
Run 2.2 tons on the front, and then we run 2.4 tons on the back, or 3 tons on the back, deck weight.
Have you got a deck weight on there as well? Because you got the rear.
Yeah,
you got the rear linkage weights. Have you got the? No, you haven't got the rear linkage weight on this, have you?
No, we don't run the linkage.
No.
We've got so much deck weight. Actually, if we ran a linkage weight as well, it would put us kind of like over what the safe limit of operation is.
You'd be overloading the layer axles,
So it goes up to 19 tonne with the deck weight.
Yeah. So it just sits on there, 19 tonne. That's a fair bit of. There's a lot of traction there, isn't it, lot?
Yeah. But you need weight to pull. So.
Of course you do, yeah, especially moulding, because you're not really putting. Well, you're just static drag, ain't you, really, lot?
And this is probably one of the better machines to take to those min-till farms, because soil is quite hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, and obviously with the wheels, sometimes people are a bit like, well, I'd rather the rubber track, but actually, like, the ground is hard anyway.
So hard anyway. These will bite in a bit better.
Like, you probably wouldn't take the 85E because that's on pretty worn tracks. The C's on the good tracks.
Yeah.
That would perform better, but obviously you've got to get the tread into the floor.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're not doing anything.
No, you're not making use of the power, are you, lot?
Nope. No, but she does balance well when you've got the rear deck weight on. I mean, you can see it's a bit nose heavy at the minute.
Yeah.
But you get that deck weight on, it really does even it up. It pulls well. And plus, with the IVT box and the C9 works really well at those low RPMs.
She'll just lug this one, won't she, lot? Yeah.
A lot of power. It typically just sit at 1440 RPM is about where it sits.
Just sit there quite happy, like, yeah.
And the IVT box just sorts its stuff out.
She's a VC as well, which is the rotating cab.
Rotates, yeah.
Have you made any use of that, really?
Dead handy for hitching onto 3-point linkage
I
stuff.
suppose it is, actually, isn't it? Yeah, swing round and...
Spin it round, drive up to it, hitch it on, back round again.
I didn't think of that, yeah. That's well handy. Yeah.
Otherwise you just can't see it.
No.
But we haven't used it for anything. We were thinking about putting a 36 metre Avadex kit on it, but it would mean it would be tremendously high for filling, and we'd have to reroute the exhaust. And
yes, yeah.
Imagine turning up with it.
You might get a few raised eyebrows, might you? A little bit.
That's not coming on my
Talking of Avadex, this is the machine.
Yeah, so MB track, forward control, converted by the boys up in Coldstream, Thomas Sheriff.
So this is not an original...
It would have been bought into the UK as an original MB 1000.
Yeah.
And they would have converted it. It was built between the 10th and the 15th of October 1989.
Okay, yeah.
And shipped across to them, and they would have just shifted it forward. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen plenty of MB trip, but never full control, because not many were done, were there, really? Or was there?
There'd be a fair few done. There was like Knights were doing them.
Of course, yeah, Knights
did a few. Safe Cave did a few. Demand were actually doing them in Germany.
Yeah.
And then Thomas Sheriff did a lot in the borders. You know, back in the late 80s and early 90s, it's a high-speed platform.
Yeah.
Albeit 40k, we wouldn't class that as high-speed now.
No, but back in the day, it was like,
And the balance is absolutely phenomenal. Once you get that boom folded out, you can see it sits a little bit weight forwards at the minute. But when you get the boom folded out, it's like 50-50 weight distribution. You've got four-wheel drive, you've got diff locks, you've got centre diff lock, so like it will go.
Yeah, mechanical transmission as well. It's not hydrostatic, so it's like I say, it will go. Like
This is on 750/26s. This travels as light.
Yeah, you won't see where that's been hardly, will you?
We've been in a bit of a quandary about whether we buy a 36 metre one, and actually, like we just go.
What are you, 24?
24.
Yeah.
Go down the middles, and you can't. There's land we did a lot of spreading on this year, on heavy land, and you can't see where it's been at all. It travels so light. She's sweeped up a bit, so she's turboed. Probably.
So what is it? Oh, it is 1,000, isn't it?
Yeah. It's probably putting out about 130 horse.
Yeah.
Nice. And this is an ex-Tim Ingles tractor, so there's a couple of Tim Ingles machines here. So this is his old one and the 85D Challenger.
That's his old one as well, like, yeah. No, did you? When did it? Is it
Tim did it himself, I think.
what bit of the spreader on?
Long while ago.
Yeah.
I bet it's been a spreader 15, 20 years maybe. Yeah, so that's a Roush pack. That probably came new in the UK on the back of a sand sprayer.
Oh, yeah.
It was probably only about 6K.
Yeah.
I've never filled it with Avadex, but I think I could probably get 200 hectares in it. Probably.
That's a fair tank on it,
It's a fair commitment to make. It's like,
fair commitment, yeah.
You want to be sure nothing's going to break.
Yeah. But this was like one of the first like high speed sort of systems tractor that, you know, I don't know if it was the first with a suspended front axle. Was it first, you think? Certainly one of the first tractors with a suspended front axle, I'd have thought.
Yeah. And they're nice, like they drive, so they handle really well.
Do they? Yeah. I've never had the pleasure, unfortunately.
It's a bit funny, with the cab stuck right out the front, it's a bit what I would describe as lollopy.
Yeah, I expect it's like driving a coach, isn't it? Yeah. Or a bus, yeah.
Yeah, the front's like going across and you're not.
Yeah, you've got to remember to turn later than you want to turn, I would have thought, yeah.
Because we run an Avadex machine on the 716, so that's 50k, so that tends to do all the away stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tend to use that one on the
Local stuff.
big fields because of the big tank.
Yeah.
And the slightly more local stuff, yeah. Because the Avidexer that goes on that only holds 50 hectares. Whereas with that, like, you fill it up in the morning and just
Keep going.
spend all day having it.
Keep going, like, yeah.
Yeah. And that uses like no diesel. Like, it's got 120 litre diesel tank on it, and you just
doing that job, it's not really working, is it? Like, oh, look at that. Sweet as a nut. That is sweet, that is. Battery there. Sweet as a nut, mate.
Yeah, those 0366 engines are just lovely things.
So you're running Trimble basically on everything you've got as well, don't you? For
Trimble is
looking after everything.
Just because, like, when we're moulling, we're moulling and not Avidexing. When we're Avidexing, we're not moulling, so we can just
swap them over, like,
chuck the screen in and use it for coverage.
It's a nice cab, though, isn't it? It's
quite a pleasant place to spend the day, to be
fair. For an 80s cab, it's quite, you know.
Yeah, plenty of room. The dog can get in here and chill out. And,
yeah,
no, it's all right.
Very nice.
Just, there's a lot of electronics going on. I don't think they'd quite appreciated how many electronics we were going to be using in 2020 compared to 1989.
They had no idea, mate, did they? Like, to be honest, no idea, look.
Yeah. I think they thought there was just going to be an RDS.
The little RDS up the top there, and that's your lot, but hey, you make it work, didn't you, lot? So we've got the old Sluters. Now we've seen the one in the corner there. That was at Normac, not this year, the year before. 23, yes, 2023. But this one's a bit more special, even so, isn't it? So
this is the only 8-cylinder in the UK at present, and as far as we know, only 2 came in. I think there's this one here, and one was a farm at Benwick, Lord de Ramsey's, I think.
Oh, yeah,
They had one.
And well, you think that's gone back, do you?
That went back.
Yeah. So this is the only one in the country?
I don't know what clicked in me, but Chris again, sent me a picture of it for sale, and I just thought, if I don't buy that...
You'll regret it, like.
I'll seriously regret it.
Yeah.
Because, like, so few built, I think, of that particular series, like, the number I quote won't be exact, but something like 250 of those were only ever built. And Sluter stopped building tractors in 91. So the odd thing is it's a straight 8-cylinder.
Yeah, it's very, very unusual, you know.
Yeah. I think it's the only production tractor that was ever sold with a straight 8-cylinder.
Yeah.
So the 95E, I had no money at the time to buy it, and I didn't know how I was going to pay for it, if I'm honest. So the 95E that I owned at the time got sold to buy that.
Did it? Yeah.
So we've gone from that owning tractors that don't do anything to buying things that do. Selling tractors that do to buying things that don't.
Like, yeah.
But being such a rarity that it is...
You had to, yeah. Quite understandable. I mean, it's like I say, it's the only one in the UK.
Yeah.
Only one of 200 odd built.
And I think, as far as we're aware at the minute, there's only about 7 Schluters in the UK.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 of them,
I've
haven't you?
got
So.
3. I've got another.
Oh, you got another one?
A little one. Yeah.
Really?
The tractors in the home country had a different designation to the tractors that were export tractors.
Right.
So in Germany, this would have been a Super 2000.
Yes.
And here, as an export tractor, they were sold as an E9500 TVL. So.
Which means nothing really, does it? Like, no.
No. And in Germany, the Super 2000 would have been 185 horsepower.
Yeah.
And in England, they sold them at, so they obviously turned them up a little bit and sold them at 200 horsepower.
Oh, did they? Oh, so these are a little bit turned up, like,
Yeah, it's a little bit turned up, because you can argue all day long with the Germans that it's not 200 horsepower. They're like, no. Because there was the later one that they built, which was Super 2000 Special,
Yeah.
had a slightly larger bore engine. So this has got 110 millimetre bore, but the Specials were 112 millimetre bore.
Right.
And 200 horsepower.
Oh, okay.
So, and there was only like 46 of them.
Yeah. Well, you've been over to a few of them days over there, haven't you?
Yeah, the Schlüter days are good. There's so much passion and enthusiasm for the brand over in Germany. It's just phenomenal. Like, we went to a working weekend, just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, there must have been 30,000 people there.
Really?
Like, there were
For essentially a working day, like, yeah.
There were 28 Schlüters ploughing this plot, and they would all pull in behind each other. And you couldn't really see what was happening because there were so many people there. And you imagine, like, the parting of the sea.
Yeah.
The Bible.
Yeah, I know what you mean, like, yeah.
Schlüters came through. People would just...
Really?
When I say they'd just get out of the way.
Yeah, sort of.
Wheels and people's arms. But there would be the driver in the cab.
Yeah.
And then there'd be...
Everyone hanging off,
2
like.
people in the buddy seat. And there'd be maybe 3 people hanging off that side. 3, and like, you're like...
Fucking hell.
Do they not have the HSE in Germany?
No. They've got common sense, but...
Wow, it was just... Yeah, they're keen for it, and like the bratwurst consumed and the beer consumed, and they're all there in there.
Yeah. Oh, the old... Yeah.
German beer, yeah.
So you've always been a fan of the old Schluter?
I don't know.
It's like it's a brand that sort of... I guess we didn't see him very much over here, but they never really floated me boat, if you know what I mean.
No,
but
well,
I can appreciate. I mean, it's a very modern tractor, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's got 4 spool valves.
Yeah.
Power steering.
Ford rake cab. It's a big cab.
Yeah, in fact, it doesn't have aircon. I think this is 1980 build, 81 supplied.
Yeah.
And at that time, we didn't have like what I would class as the best John Deeres. And I think if you were given this in 81, you'd feel quite special.
Yeah.
Come 82, 83, and like
It's swinging the other way.
series were just coming out.
Yeah.
Aircon was just becoming a thing. Like, you'd be like,
Yeah.
You'd probably be perfectly happy with this for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then your mate, who was the other player, and got a 46.
40 series, I'm maybe not quite top of the pile anymore.
Like 1980, 200 horsepower, like phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it's hell of a... I mean, and it's not a big tractor either, again.
That 6-cylinder's only 160, and that's a tiny.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, we've got a...
That's meant to be 120.
Yeah, it's a 512, so 120, and it's exactly the same size as that 2000 there. Look. That does sound nice, Rory, doesn't it? It really does.
You hadn't touched the engine at all.
Not at all. That's lovely. Are you had it working yet or not? Oh. Hey,
I'm not normally nervous.
understandable though, understandable, but that, I mean, God, that's a lovely sound, isn't it?
Well, actually, I'll tell a lie. We went in, basically being waiting for 2.5 years, like, to get it.
Where it is now, yeah.
I mean, it's time and money, isn't it?
It is, mate, it is.
So we did the tin with it.
Yeah.
The mud guards were very rusty, they'd all fallen through, so we redone all the red. The bonnet wasn't so bad, it wasn't brilliant. Needed new lights with that. Going on what Mark Brock had said, I understood from what he told me that the turbo clutch was leaking all its oil out.
Right, yeah.
And then we put some pictures on Facebook, and the guy that used to drive it at the farm in Essex or Hertfordshire,
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, that bloody thing." They had a turbo clutch leak.
Yeah.
He said it was such a pain to get to. What we used to do was fill it right up to the top and then let it lose all of its oil until it wouldn't drive again, and then we fill it up
again, like, yeah.
So I was like, right, so it needs new turbo clutch seal.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to go mad. We did a full paint like we did that, but we knew that one was alright.
Yeah.
This has got over 10,000 hours on it.
Is it?
That's only got like 2,500
Oh,
hours.
blimey.
So we were like, right, we'll do the essentials.
Yeah.
And because when I bought it, somebody had been messing around with the dash, had been messing around with the... because these are 12 volts, and they jump to 24 to start.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
So it's got a Bosch converter on side, so it's a bit complicated. So we had it split, did the turbo clutch seals, put the crankshaft, because obviously being an 8-cylinder, it's got a very long crankshaft.
Yeah.
And the last new crankshaft in the world sold 4 years ago for €30,000.
Holy moly!
You can understand my trepidation.
Yeah.
So the rubber damper that we had that was on it, that had probably been on there for new because it was still Schluter silver.
Yeah.
was just it was dead.
Dust, like, yeah.
We physically took it to Germany and did a service exchange, which cost me £2 grand.
Yeah.
You know, real cheap.
Yeah.
And you can see like the rubber that on the new one, you can like put your fingernail in and it was soft.
Yeah.
Whereas the one that was in there was
rock
like hard, cracked, horrible. So I do crankshaft damped up, resealed the turbo clutch. There was no back end oil in it at the time.
Yeah.
So we had new ram seals on the cab tips, so new ram seals. The lift cylinders on the link arms, we had those off. Totally stripped those, resealed those. Done a fair bit. None of the electrics work in the cab at the minute.
No. But it's in working order.
It's in working order.
Yeah.
So anyway, a couple of weeks ago we took it out on the terror disc and had it on the terror disc. Yeah, it worked fine.
Yeah.
But like it's been stood for over 20 years.
Exactly.
So
you know, you do a bit of work, you might find some issues, but yeah.
But like you look under it, there's no oil.
Dry as a bone, isn't it? Like, yeah. It's a few quid sat there, but
Yeah.
I mean, it wants a bit of work. It wants a bit of light work, you know, just to keep. The worst thing they can do is just sit there, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely.
you know.
The seals all go hard.
Yeah. When folks just park them up in the shed, oh, they look lovely and everything. They're meant to work.
I'm not guilty of that.
No, you're not, like, you know.
So we've got plans to do a bit more with it. But when you've never driven something before, so like I had driven one in Germany.
Yeah.
That was on a working day, we knew it was a good tractor. But like you pull it out of the workshop,
You don't know how it's supposed to feel and that.
Like, a combine and you go to the fitter, it's making a funny noise.
Yeah.
Like, or you go, it's making a noise that wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah.
You know the noise. Like,
is that the normal noise or is it not? Exactly, yeah. You don't know.
It's like, what is normal? Like, I don't know.
No.
So like everything you do, you're like
does that sound right?
Noise, is that a transmission noise?
Yeah.
Is it in forward drive? Is it out of forward drive? Like, you don't know, do you? So,
No, you don't,
like,
mate.
The learning curve is like, so that's where we're at. Trying to not kill it.
Yeah.
It cost me a shitload of money.
Yeah.
As most people will know, I have a bit of a fetish for Cleaver tyres.
Yes, you're
So-
quite well known for that, aren't you, lot?
This has got cleaver rears.
I did wonder.
Yeah.
What's on the front actually?
They're Goodyears.
Oh, they're Goodyears on the front.
You've got quite a nice following, George. So this is on Super 100 20.838 rears. Quite an odd size on the front. So these are 18.426.
Yeah. So we know what the next question is going to be.
Really difficult to get these.
Yeah.
Really difficult. They don't really make these anymore as an agricultural type.
But you want a set of cleavers.
But if anybody's got a pair of 18.426 cleaver, I think they'll still be a Super 100. There might be a Super 50. I could do with a set.
Yeah.
But like they are like.
You really, yeah. What is it though?
I just like.
What is it the look? You just like the look of the
synonymous
cleavers?
with tractors of the period.
Well, yeah, they are, yeah.
So there's two tyres that I get a little bit excited about. Is Cleaver Super 100s, because like.
Is that what they are? Are they Super 100s?
Super 100s.
Yeah.
So the self-cleaning cleat.
Yeah.
Which allows the soil to fall out. They're really grippy. Like if you look at that, like look at the tread on there. Like,
there's a lot of tread
so
there,
much
isn't there?
tread.
Like a lot of cracking as well, like you know.
Don't
But
you start. They cost me a lot of money. All the time. And it looks right on them. It really does. And this came new on Cleaver front.
yeah. Mind you, saying about cracking, I mean, the Goodyears aren't exactly standing up very well, are they? So, yeah, some 18.4,
18.426.
26s.
Cleaver.
Jonathan will be well interested.
Yeah.
So, if you know of any, let me know and I'll let Jonathan.
Excited.
You'll be putting your little tinker, wouldn't you? Like?
Doing something. Yeah. And then XM108s, I'm a bit of a fan of a Michelin XM108 because they're a tyre of the period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on Michelin's, but that could easily have been on Michelin's at that time. So.
Yeah, because what's that? 2000? The Fendt, is it? Well,
95.
She's a 95, yeah. That's just a nice little tractor, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's a
turbo
nice
shift,
tractor,
yeah.
Yeah. That's cost me a lot of money as well. I had a full engine rebuild.
Oh, is that the one that we'll let it progress? Was that
Yeah,
one?
let it develop.
Let it develop. Yeah. So it's had a bit of a knock, didn't it? And we'll let it develop. And it developed not long after, didn't it?
We
Like?
had so much power coming out of it, because it's only meant to be 125, and it was dyno in 180. And
Yeah, a little bit over, like yeah.
people rave about MWM engines, and actually we've learnt a lot about MWM engines in the last few years. But being Fendt, everything's so tightly packed in there, and the poor old girl, she can't really get her air.
Yeah.
So the engine sits in there, and on top you've got the diesel tank, and on this side you've got the hydraulic oil tank. On the other side you've got the manifold and the turbo.
There's a lot of heat in there.
She's kind of sandwiched, and she can't, like, look at these engines. All you can see is the engine.
Yeah.
That's all you can see. There's nothing else there. Like
No.
it can breathe. And that's got, look at the side vent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
These were
massive.
known for getting warm.
Yeah.
Like,
But loads of, you can get a lot of air, but nothing. This is completely sealed.
This will get warm.
Yeah.
Trust me, this will get warm.
No, it's just there's just a tiny intake at the front. And that's your lot.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a bit of grilling along there, like, isn't there? But
Doesn't really get her air that well.
no. But then again, it is meant for 120 horse, isn't it?
meant
Like,
to be
not 180, like no, yeah.
Yes, we did speak to probably the biggest fence collector in Germany, Jose Raif at Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Phenomenal collection of fence, and we said to him, I own a 512 that's doing 175 horsepower. And he didn't even, I don't think he even said anything, he just gave me this look. And Chris was like, I think you better turn it down.
Yeah. It's just, you didn't need to say anything, like, no.
And it's like, stupid English man.
Yeah.
And I sort of thought, I think
He's probably got a point, like, yeah. So she's had a little.
She's got a
as well,
style
isn't
power
she?
box on it.
Yeah.
So it's meant to be 380, but we think it's like 440.
So even more than like a 95E, like,
Bit more than a 95E.
Yeah.
I was going to put 105E on the side of it. But we got told no.
No.
Behave.
Such a dirty sound. A dirty sound, isn't it?
Proper engine in those.
Proper, mate. Proper. I've never owned anything with a cat in, but I think I need to, like.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
Yeah, so that's the C12 in there, isn't it, like? Yeah. Go on, I'm just having a think. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 track. What have we got horsepower wise here, all told? Just in that bit, so
380.
roughly 380, 400.
I'll have to get my phone out.
Yeah, get your phone out. We're crap at maths, aren't we?
I am. My wife is a lot.
So there's a good
380.
4, 8, 12, 16. It's got to be pushing 2,000 horse there, I reckon.
380, what's the 75? Is, that's 360 now. Plus 270. 1,770.
A fair few ponies just sat there, aren't there?
Spent at 160. That's 1930, yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, fair bit of horsepower. So we'll C9 in the Xerion, 212s, a 10. What's in the 55? Is that a 9? No.
That's a 3.1.
Oh, it's a more modern one, isn't it? Yeah.
6, is it 3.1? It's a 7.5 litre in that, I think.
Was it? Yeah.
The 45 and the 35 and the 45 had the smaller 6.6 litre engine in, and that's got the 7.2 litre.
Yeah. Tell you what would be nice if you found a cat. There's a few about as well, a cat version.
Dave had the cat one, didn't he? But he's just sold that to a mate.
Oh yeah, he has just sold it, any lot. Yeah, weren't.
Personally, I prefer the green, but a lot of people prefer the terracotta. I like the green. I think I like the green because I like the idea of the merger at the time.
Yeah.
You know,
It's more familiar, isn't it, lot?
Yeah,
But
you
it
saw
is
it more
nice seeing the
often.
cat, the cat colours, because we don't see them very often, do we, lot?
no, no, and there weren't that many. Obviously, so when Levertons and Finnins were doing the rubber tracks, they were more plant guys, weren't they? They were selling 360s into quarries and stuff like that. So they weren't really selling farmers anything, because like the D6s at the time would sort of, the steel track job had sort of like died a death.
Yeah.
And then obviously when Class and Cat had the deal where Class would market rubber track crawlers in the UK on Cat's behalf in Class colours, and then Cat would sell Class combines in North America in Cat
Colours, yeah.
Because obviously they had the network and
It was beneficial
power.
both ways, wasn't it?
So
Like, yeah.
everybody was benefiting from everybody else's experience.
Yeah.
So it gave Class so much more
Clout in North America.
market share. Clout in North America. But also, it gave them a machine to sell to farms in the UK, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like at the time, there wasn't we were sort of coming out of the pivot steer FW kind of era, weren't we? And
Rubber tracks were the new thing.
They were the new kid on the block.
Yeah,
weren't
they were. Yeah.
Putting the power down, and like you saw countless 75Es, and you saw heaps of.
Oh, these, the little ones, they're all popular, weren't they?
Really popular.
Yeah.
Well, like that's 270 horsepower.
Yeah.
What's a FW30?
300.
300. So
Yeah.
like you're getting the same.
Same sort of horsepower.
It's
Compact
narrower,
little thing, narrower,
Compact.
far more usable.
Yeah, decent 3-point link.
Yeah.
Like pull like hell.
Yes, no.
Barely see where it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the 75E, like it's quite a different tractor really, but good at the primary cultivations. Pull well.
But again, far more manoeuvrable, usable.
Yeah.
You know, the FWs were great in their time, but they're
Faster,
big
sort of
old lumps, aren't they?
faster
like?
work speeds, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
all sort of like back at that time, like work speeds weren't what I would class as silly fast. You know?
No, it was steady
people ploughing
and
at 3.5 miles an hour.
yeah,
Weren't they?
it was a steadier pace of life, wasn't it? Like,
Now you got people ploughing at like 6k,
yeah,
10k. Like, yeah.
yeah. And the introduction of power shifts is a big
steadier
thing.
pace of
Yes,
life,
well, it was, wasn't it? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Now, rules guilty of the same. You know.
What do you mean you stopped for lunch?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you eat on the go, didn't you? Like, you know.
It's not allowed here. Got guidance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Long ends.
Well, you're not even doing it. You just feet up and watching make sure you wake up at the end. No, there's a lot to be said for the old school stuff. I mean, I like the new stuff.
It was a great time. It really was. Yeah.
I suppose it's a bit.
I remember seeing the first 65. Like that would have been 1989, and I would have been 11 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember it was on the the farm where my father had a shoot, and there was a railway line that ran through the farm, and we were on one side of the railway line. And this thing came along the other side of the railway line, so all you could see was the cab.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And it came over the railway line because they're like a bloody submarine, like Nautilus coming over the top. Over the top. And I'm just like, what the hell?
Well, you didn't see anything like the like, could you? Like, you know.
A big tractor back then was like a 4255, so 148 horsepower. And here comes this 260 horsepower behemoth.
Monster on rubber
it was
tracks.
Like a boat, wasn't it? Because like they had a deck that went all the way around it. You could walk around the whole.
Well, they're so streamlined as well, aren't they? Like, you know, the
styling and the exhaust was on the bonnet, and it just made. Well, if you come in the officey bit, there's a lovely pictures that somebody gave us recently.
Yeah, so there you go. That's
what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, like the original, and it was only offered as a 60. Yeah, the 65 was all there was at the start, wasn't it? Like,
then we had the 75, straight 75.
Yeah.
And that was so they were fitted with the 3306 engine that you would have found in the D6. But like that picture you're looking at now, like that's pulling a 10 or 11 for a Gregoire Besson.
Yeah.
260 horsepower.
Yeah.
Well, 260 horsepower nowadays is like cutting cord, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you'd need double that now, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you would need double that.
1167 on the front of it.
Yeah.
Well, Pecky ploughs with a 12 for one with a 630.
Exactly, yeah.
670.
It's a different world, isn't it? Like, it's a different. I still maintain like the old horsepower, proper Shire horsepower, isn't it? Like
horses, not ponies.
Yeah. There is a difference, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, you got a couple of little cats here.
Yeah, I think there was a point when, certainly when I didn't own a Caterpillar at all, I'd been invited to Lincolnshire Agricultural Machinery Group talk at Boston Golf Club, I think it was.
Right.
Near Hubbards Bridge. Holt Myers, who was the great-grandson of the founder of Leverton's, was given a talk about the history of Leverton's. And I sat at the front listening to Holt, reminiscing about things that his grandfather did and about caterpillars in the UK. And it sort of suddenly dawned on me, as these things do, that I didn't own a Caterpillar.
And that mattered, I expect.
And that mattered to
me.
Yeah. Well, if I don't, and I'd spent, so I was brought up just outside King's Lynn. And my father used to do quite a lot of shooting, sort of in the fens, or we used to go down, like, the normal thing was a trip down the A17.
Yeah.
And at that time, you would see D2s and D4s parked in little old lean-to sheds on the side of buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
I could take you to countless sheds.
Each one had its own.
You could go, well, we'll go around this corner, there'll be a pair of D2s in there.
Yeah.
And like a D2, back when they were new, was like probably the biggest tractor on the farm, did all the ploughing.
Yeah.
Like with a jumbo.
It's hard to imagine, like, but that's just the case, like, wasn't it, like, yeah.
And this particular tractor, this D2, was actually new to the ADAS research station at Terrington St Clements.
Right.
So we know its history. But I sat there and I thought, I'm going to have to buy a Caterpillar. And oddly enough, so whilst I was in that meeting, I texted a guy I knew that had a D8 in the shed. So I thought, we'll start big.
That's the way to go. That is the only tractor you've not got in this shed, actually. Yeah.
Oh, and the third slipper. So I texted him and said, can I come and see you on Saturday about that D8?
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free. So within 3 days, I'd bought a D8.
That was, bought and paid for. Yeah.
And then, I can't remember what came next, but Angus said to me one day, do you want a D2? And I was like, yes.
It's the other end of the scale. Yeah. You've only got to fill in between then, like, haven't you?
I bought this one, and I loved it because it got the original Leverton cab.
Yeah. It's quite unusual. You don't often see that, do you? Like?
Cut those off and chuck them in the scrap.
Yeah.
So that's 1942, 43.
Yeah.
And then the Wilson sale, which happened a couple of years ago, Robert Wilson passed away unexpectedly. Biggest collection of Caterpillars you'll ever see in the UK, never to be seen again. I went to that with no real plans of buying anything. I was quite interested in that big 17 furrow plough he had.
What was that? the hell was that? I don't recall
He
that.
made it himself out of
Oh, is it?
grandson's bodies. And he built the frame.
17 throws. Bloody
He used to
hell.
pull it with a D9.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could double that, couldn't you? But
I think he had, it was a 12 originally, and then when he was pulling it with a D8, and
yeah,
then he thought, well, I'll stick it on the D9.
why
I
not?
bet have another 5 on it. And when I didn't quite appreciate how big it was, and when I got to the sale and I saw it, I was like, how the hell am I going to move it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to get it in gateways and stuff, haven't you?
Well, getting it on the lorry to get it home.
Well, that's the point.
I
Yeah.
thought, well, if it makes £2.5 grand, I bet it's going to cost me that to get it home. Like, you imagine how wide it was, being 17 throws. You imagine how long it was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like 60 feet long. I was like,
Jesus
oh, God,
Christ.
that's going to be like serious. and I thought, well, is my D8 even going to pull it when I get it home?
Well, yeah.
So I was there with Charlie Wright, and we were walking around. I thought, well, I better buy something whilst I'm here. And there were so many. There were like 20 D2s, and there were like 18 D4s.
Yeah.
And this particular D4 is like a 1952, but it's quite a decent spec. So it's got it's donkey start, like everything at that time.
Yeah.
But it's got an electric start donkey. And it's
Oh,
got
that's the key, though, isn't it? Like, rather than
there
the.
wouldn't have been many electric start.
No.
Because people would have gone, oh no, my man can pull the rope, it does fine. I don't
Yeah. Bugger the rope.
Yeah.
I've been there and done.
He's got a big, strong right arm.
Yeah,
Fine.
I don't do that.
So, so I bought that.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, I think I paid about 2.2 for it.
Yeah.
So I didn't pay a lot for it. But you could see it had been driven into position, but they'd tow started it.
Right, yeah.
And I sent it directly to the boys at Fenland Tractors. Because like what they don't know about these just ain't worth really knowing.
Yeah.
And they found that there was a tiny bit of metal which they think was off a mag or something, just got between the gears, between the
Right.
donkey and the starter.
Just stopping it from
So just
engaging, like, yeah.
to turn over like 85%.
And stop, yeah.
And they like put a new. I just tinkered with it and sorted it out, so it starts pretty well now. Got that back, so it cost me about as much to get them to service and go through it, but money well spent because it's like
It's done. Yeah.
But lovely little things. Like,
D6 next?
I do need a D6, so. But there's a lot of scope in the D6 sort of.
Oh, there's
Sizes,
a lot of different variations you can go for, isn't there? Lot?
Yeah, a lot. Ed Mills has got a nice tractor. He's got a D7, which I quite like to look up.
Yeah. But D9G, you got to go there at some point, ain't you?
There's a couple up the road.
Is there?
Yeah, they're both out of the Wilson sale.
Yeah.
But they are big. Like my D8 is big.
Yeah.
But D9G is like, I think they're D9. I think they're E's or D's.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah. But God, they're big.
But you got to do it.
But you can't like.
You got to do it, ain't you?
You got to do it.
Yeah, got to be done.
I wouldn't say no. It's just moving them.
Well, yeah.
Like, they're big. And what are you going to do with it? Like, you turn that mould of it, people are going to be, ooh, that's a bit
Well,
big.
you mould with a D8 though, didn't you?
Yeah, mould the D8.
You do go, yeah. But a D9 is a bit of a.
You'll think it's the one time you'd need a twin leg.
Yeah. Yeah, quad leg, like, yeah.
Tear it into next week. Break some shit with a D9. Yeah. I love the D8. Like the D8 is. It's big, it's cumbersome, and it's noisy. That's got electric start donkey.
Is it? Yeah.
And I like that whole donkey start.
Yeah. It's a bit of a well. You did a video the other day, didn't you? Like,
Yeah, it's just nice.
it's better than just going clonk, isn't it? Like, and it's away. Like, it's a bit more on
If I try
occasion.
and start one of these for you now, it won't start, so we won't even bother.
No.
It'll just do its best.
Yeah.
Silly. And then tomorrow I'll come in here and I'll just go. Brrr.
Yeah, it'll go straight away with the camera's not rolled in. Guaranteed.
Did it to me last time. Yeah. But no, they're nice. Like and.
Yeah, nice strap, haven't they? Like, and it's
1940s. And
Yeah.
Like mostly that starts second pull of the rope.
yeah.
And then
Will work. You put a set of rolls behind it. It'll do that
roll
quite
back.
happily.
We've played with that.
Yeah.
They're nice little things.
Built to last.
And nothing really fundamentally has changed, has it?
No. It's the same
Same
design as that 85E behind us,
Same
isn't it?
sort
Like?
of thing going
Yeah.
on. Yeah, they're lovely.
Well, thank you very much, Jonathan. It's been a
no
lovely
worries.
tour.
Yeah, good to have you over.
Hope you lot have enjoyed that. And don't forget tyres,
18426 Cleaver.
cleavers. Easy man.
Not too new.
Plenty of cracks.
Don't be sending me stuff from the year 2000.